Okay, so our electrode has been conditioning in water for about 5 to 10 minutes. Normally it's best to 5 minutes in between each samples. We don't want to store the electrode in water for any long periods of time. So, sample information screen, I'm just going to call it. Again, you've got the pop-up keypad, which is really handy. I'm going to call it TAN Blank. I'm going to do it in capitals so I can see clearly. Enter that. I don't want to put a username in at this stage, but here you would be able to select from the drop-down box if you've programmed them in system settings. Here it's default already on blank, so all I need to do now is prepare my sample. So this is just titration solvent. Here is some that I have already pre-mixed. So I'd say about 80 ml is absolutely fine. Pour that in here. And we have stirrer bar already in a nice clean vessel. TAN Blank. Okay. Pop that on the titrate pod. You've
Right hand.
All the lines are primed. So now all I'm going to do, pop this side. Now the stirrer is going to be clockwise, so the optimal position is where the dispensing tip sits this side, so when it spins it hits the stirrer motion, it will hit the tip first and then it will hit the electrode to get the best response. So that's all ready. You can adjust the height of this with this plastic sleeve. Just run. And what you notice is the electrode platform automatically lowers at the start of the titration and the stirrer starts as well. Now if you wanted to adjust the stirrer during titration, for example if you have quite viscous samples, simply press adjust stirrer, increase the speed, decrease the speed. I'm just going to cancel that. So with the blank, what we're looking for is a negative slope. So the solution is going to get more alkaline the more potassium hydroxide is dispensed. This is a dynamic titration, so the volume of increment dispensed will sort of vary based on the slope of the curve. You can see here on the curve, in real time you have the millivolts on the y-axis and the volume of microliters dispensed on the x-axis. During the titration you can switch between the first derivative, second derivative and the data table. This little icon up here is the temperature icon, so if you had a probe connected you could switch between degrees and Fahrenheit, so that would automatically change, and NC just means non-connected. Here, these little icons remain at the top right hand of the screen, and that indicates what type of electrode you have plugged in and how many. So as you can see, I've got 2 electrodes plugged in at the moment. And here you can see the sample information. You have the date, you've got the actual time, you've got the user, your sample ID, what method you're using, what size syringe you have, and the current volume dispensed, and then obviously you have your starting millivolt reading here, and then the run state, which is running. So here EP1 is your endpoint, your first endpoint, and that's the volume of titrant dispensed in mils to each endpoint. At any point during the run you can also abort, and as soon as you press that, titration will stop and the electrode platform will raise up. And this is a good indication for straight away, because you want to get that electrode rinsed, washed and then back in the water for conditioning purposes. So here, if I just flip between the curves, there's the first derivative, as you can see, progressing. And then we have the data table. See the volume dispensed and then the millivolt readings. But also, you can navigate your way around any other part of PAT. Press the home button. So there we go. The R1 indicates that you have something running. So at any point you can press that and it'll go straight back to your run. So during this stage, while you're running, you might want to set up a new method, you might want to calibrate another electrode, many other functions you can perform whilst you have a run going on. So if I go back to run, there we go, as you can see we're back, straight back to the run page. So the blank, I would say, takes to 4 to 5 minutes. So as you can see, we're looking for the end point maybe around the anything between -240, -260 mark. So we're reaching near the end point. So obviously when you would perform a blank, you would do it on a new batch of titration solvent, so you wouldn't need to run a blank every single day. We can see the end point between 0.1 and 0.2 mils. So I've set the end volume to be at 0.5 mil or 500 microlitres. So as you can see here, it's giving you a result. Now to check this, if we hit Result Center, and again the electrode platform has raised and the stir has stopped. Here we go, we've got your results here. You can scroll up and down. You can store up to 1,000 results. It has a large memory. So this is the last one we did, so we can have a look. So here you've got your basic sample information again, all in red. Run state, run finished. If you wanted to view your method parameters, you can view them. And there you go, you have all the parameters here, and just simply scroll. The reason this is handy is, for example, you do a run, you don't get, you might not get the result you wanted, or you miss the end point. You can have a quick look in your result and think, have a scroll down and think, oh, I've set the threshold too high or too low. So that's a good prompt for you to change it on your next run. If you weren't happy, there we go, there's your blank result. And there we have, there's a clear peak here, you can see. And there's the second derivative. If you weren't happy, for example, you thought you were looking for more endpoints, if you hit recalculate, here you have the option to change some of the parameters. So for example, if you wanted to view more peaks, if I set the threshold value to 0, there we go. And then, for example, if I wanted to look at all, at the moment I was just looking for the largest peak. So if I set to all, hit apply, if you look at the right hand side here, there you go, it's picked up 2 peaks. And there we go, it's given you a result for all those. If I save that, do you want to save the recalculated result? Yes, we do. Close. And there's the original result. And there we have your recalculated result. So you have 2 endpoints. Okay, and the next thing I'm just going to do is I'm going to rinse the electrode in IPA and then rinse it in our tan solvent, and then I'm just going to rinse with distilled water and then leave to condition again for maybe another 5 minutes in distilled water. Normally you'd run 2 or 3 blanks with your batch of titration solvent. I'm just going to run 1 today, and then next we're going to run a sample.